1 Timothy 1 verse 5. Now the end of the commandment is charity.
Question. In your previous sharing and the current recording of the segment ZionRiver, in the sermon series, Pastor Wind has discussed the importance of character. I still remember that in the Sunday sermon in 1991, you clearly pointed out that Balaam's collection of royalties for the songs he composed was unacceptable. Later, Argentina experienced a great revival. While the global charismatic churches praised it, Pastor Wind discerned that their attention-seeking operations had become corrupt. In the Sunday sermon, you analyzed the issues and corruption you observed in Argentina's revival. As expected, from that revival in Argentina, many harmful elements emerged. When Todd Bentley broadcasts his daily experiences of miracles through online live streams, the pastor helps us understand the problematic aspects of his ministry from a character-focused perspective. Later, Bentley was exposed for having an extramarital affair and faced other issues. In recent years, the pastor has prioritized character over achievements, numbers, and people's praise. This approach has allowed him to discern whether these revivals or ministries are indeed approved by God.
You ask a good question. In fact, I have conducted research in a particular field that has given me the ability to perceive this. The field I studied is backward engineering. By examining a person's preferences, tastes, rational thinking, and choices, I can gradually deduce their character. I contemplate what kind of character would drive someone to live such a life, choosing those clothes, spending money in a certain way, making certain decisions, and running a church in a specific manner. By doing so, I can identify the corresponding character traits. I approach life in this way, searching for and filtering out the character traits that God favors the most. That's how I live my life. So, the difference between me and you lies in the fact that when I see the surface signs of a person, I can already deduce their character. This implies their negative signs. When I saw Todd Bentley and his female assistants shaking behavior, I could deduce their character. Later, he was found to have committed adultery with that female assistant. But you won't. You may find it strange because you are not accustomed to searching for characters. When people collect royalties for their songs, I can already deduce the character behind them. I understand your perspective. You say that if something is good, you would want to do it. But you have realized that you would need to become a certain kind of person to do so. Do you understand? They try to forcefully present something evil as righteous and justify something greedy as unavoidable. Actually, this so-called unavoidable can be avoided, right? If I were to force it and justify it as unavoidable, what kind of character would I need? In reality, I use many such methods to deduce and find out what kind of character they possess from the surface signs of people. Through this, I seek to discover the character that pleases God rather than simply focusing on their character alone. Because even if I find that character, there may still be impurities such as insecurity or weakness. For example, I have known several pastors in the past, and I would carefully observe their words and actions in public, as well as the choices they made, to infer their true character behind the scenes rather than blindly imitating them. By doing so, I can find many clues from their preferences, which has become a common practice. I often don't have the opportunity to interact directly with these prominent pastors, but I can get to know them by reading their writings, learning about their life stories, and seeing how people around them describe their deeds. Most importantly, I am not focused on how others criticize their actions but on how others describe what they have done. After all, when it comes to criticism, since the advent of the Internet age, even the best can be subject to negative reviews. Therefore, I can observe how people speak and even pay attention to the tone of their speech. Speaking of tone, Kenneth Copeland is the best in the Christian community thus far, he speaks the best. As for the tone of the writing, the best is Kenneth Hagin. Regarding reading, would choose Kenneth Hagin's writings over Kenneth Copeland's. On the other hand, when it comes to listening to sermons, would choose Kenneth Copeland because Kenneth Hagin's sermons are average. I prefer to read his writings instead. 1 Timothy 1 verse 5. Now the end of the commandment is charity.
Far away, no one shall find another one like you, for you deserve our endless praise. By Jesus' blood, the Lamb who was slain, ungiven sight, now I see the truth. You've torn the veil, open the gate. Yes, you've torn the